Hello everyone, and welcome to my Wrath of the Lich King beta testing part 10. I can't believe we finally made it to part 10, but don't worry, this is not going to be the last episode. By the way, thank you to all the people who support the channel by watching the videos, but also subscribing, and soon I'll reach 20,000 subscribers. The first question is about the statistic page and what it tracks. And honestly, there are so many different questions about this every single day, so I decided to finally cover this. What it will track is, for example, the amount of quests you have done in Vanilla and Burning Crusade, so this seems to be tracked for the upcoming Lore Master achievement title. It will also track the amount of honorable kills and even the amount of recipes you have learned for the different professions. But to be honest, it seems like it hasn't really tracked anything from Vanilla and Burning Crusade, or well, pretty much next to nothing. So if there's anything specifically you would like to achieve, then it seems like you need to start doing this in the pre-patch or in Wrath of the Lich King. Heroism and bloodlust will receive a big change, because when you use this, you will also get a 10 minutes debuff where you'll not be able to benefit from the buff again. But at the same time, when the shaman used this, it will also benefit the whole raid group instead of just the party group like it did back in Burning Crusade. If you die with the debuff, it will also be removed. So for example, if the raid wipes on a boss, you can easily just go again without having to wait for the Heroism debuff to go off. You will of course need to wait for the spell cooldown to be ready, and the cooldown of Heroism and bloodlust is 5 minutes. Will you be able to summon Anzu the Raven Lord without being a druid? This is a really good question, so I decided to head into Zedek Hall's Heroic to test this. As I was testing this, I noticed the first boss has increased stealth detection, so this made it a lot more difficult to get through here. When I got to the room where I usually summon the boss, I also noticed this object, and when I tried to right click on it, it also told me to get the Essen infused Moonstone. This is an item you get as a druid when you do the quest for the epic flight form, so it seems like you will not be able to summon this boss without a druid. Will Death Knights be able to use their ghouls to stun a target if the Death Knight itself is already stunned? This is honestly so important to know, especially in PvP, so if you get kidney shot or stunned by a druid, you can counter a lot of damage in the stun. And yes, it seems like this will be working, because in this case I got stunned and the ghoul also stunned the target. The question that has got the most likes is this one. Will a warrior be able to obtain a Ravager, equip it in offhand, and when you do the whirlwind effect, will it then do the main hand damage? The moment I saw this question, I instantly moved to Scarlet Monastery to obtain the axe. But of course I didn't obtain this right away. I ended up killing the final boss so many times, and I always got this damn helm. I don't know why I was so unlucky, but I couldn't stop right here. I needed to continue killing the boss because I wanted to test this so badly. I mean, at this point I'd even obtained 5 different helms. So come on, I need this damn axe so we can test this. After I don't know how many kills, the axe finally dropped, and now I could head back to Ogrima to test this at the different target dummies. In this first test, the Ravager is in my offhand, and yes, it will be able to proc. I do around 560 to 670 damage to each target, and this is with a level 70 main hand equipped. But now pay attention to what happens when I equip the Ravager in my main hand. Every whirlwind tick is also way less damage compared to before. This is simply because my level 70 weapon is no longer in my main hand. So to answer the questions, Ravager will be able to proc when you have equipped it in your offhand, and it will also do damage equal to your main hand weapon. But I felt like this was too early to stop the test, so therefore I headed back to Scarlet Monastery to get yet another Ravager, because I would like to see what happens when you equip 2 of these at the same time. In this clip I've increased the speed by twice as much, but pay attention to the moment the whirlwind ends and how fast a new whirlwind is applied. We already know that the damage will be higher if I equip a level 70 weapon in my main hand, but at the same time this is pretty much non-stop whirlwinding. Between level 60 to 70, this will be so amazing, especially in a dungeon cleaving group, for example on the upcoming fresh servers. But I don't know how good this will be between level 70 to 80. In Burning Crusade, druids are not able to loot quest items, herbs or even skin when they're airborne in their flight form. But will this change in the next expansion? It seems like this will change, because when I tested this on the beta, I was able to loot this quest item when I was airborne. But there's still a chance that you might be able to pull some of the nearby monsters. I even tested this with a chest, and I was also able to loot this when I was airborne. I'm honestly a bit worried about this, because in the future we might see even more druid bots in the game. What is your opinion about the flight form change? Let me know this in a comment below the video. Will you be able to throw a grenade all the way till the end monsters in Ramparts and that way pull the whole instance back to the beginning? This will not be possible, because even though you hit the monsters, they will also evade instantly. And this is no matter what you do, even if you try to pull them with Death and Decay as a Death Knight. There might of course be some dungeons where you will be able to take advantage of this, but in Ramparts it seems like this will not be doable. Will you still be able to show your vanilla PvP ranks in Wrath of the Lich King? Yes, this will still be a possibility to show as a title. You will even get an achievement with the name of the title that you obtained. But remember, these achievements doesn't grant you any achievement points. A common question that a lot of different people ask me every single day is if you will be able to hand in repeatable quests and get a ton of experience. No, this will not be the case. Quests that you can pick up from an NPC and where you will be able to hand it in instantly over and over will not grant you any experience beside the first time you hand it in. Can you test if Divine Shield combined with the new protection talent Divine Sacrifice will neglect the damage transfer? Yeah, I can for sure test this. On the beta, I found this amazing rogue who helped me test this. So the rogue pulled a lot of enemies and then I used Divine Sacrifice. As you can see, I take some of the damage. But now pay attention to the top left corner when I use Divine Shield. The target's attack will now miss, so yes, it will neglect the damage. Some of the paladins out there would also like to know if Divine Purpose is working as intended. So if you can use a Hand of Freedom to get out of any stun. In this clip, the rogue uses a kidney shot, but I quickly use my Hand of Freedom to break out of it. This is also the same case with Cheap Shot and all the other stuns in the game. In a moment I'll move on to the next thing, but first I would like to say thank you to the rogue for helping me test these things. In Wrath of the Lich King, there's a rogue glyph that allows you to walk on water whenever your sprint is active. But will you also be able to use your mount and walk on water whenever your sprint is active? Let's test this right now. I tested this a few times, but the results are always the same. When I try this, I'll always end up in the water, not able to walk on the water with my mount. But I also discovered something, and I can't remember if it used to be like this. But if I use my sprint, I will be able to walk on the water. But the moment I try to mount up, I'll get into the water. If I then dismount and I try to walk on the water with sprint again, I'm not able to. And I can't remember if this was the case back in original Wrath of the Lich King, so let me know this in a comment below the video, so we can also make a bug report if this is a bug. Have to add more flight paths in Vanilla and Burning Crusade content? It seems like this will not be the case, and I've tested this on both factions. But for those of you who plan to level on the upcoming fresh servers, then I got some great news for you. There will be even more graveyards in Vanilla and Burning Crusade content, so if you die, then you don't need to spend as much time corpse running. By the way, I would like to say thank you to these 4 people for supporting the channel by becoming a member. This allows me to spend even more time on making videos, so thank you for this. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing day. Peace.